The beautiful de Un Día Bonito show would like to dedicate this episode to our friend, our colleague, and our supporter, Elisa Chase from Pocono 96.7. She will forever be missed, but never forgotten. Our condolences go out to the Pocono 96.7 family, the Kafisi Lee family, and the entire community that was touched by Elisa. We will forever miss you. Welcome to a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful morning, a beautiful day. A time to get together and watch you fly away. Shake your cares off, don't worry about a thing. Today is so beautiful, so beautiful. It's a beautiful morning. Un día bonito. Shake your cares off, don't worry about a thing. Today is so beautiful, so beautiful.
Welcome to the Wells Fargo Presents The Beautiful Day Un Día Bonito show. I'm your host, Giselle Figueroa, and I am here with the beautiful Angelica Richards, the Mount Pocono branch manager for Wells Fargo. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Giselle. Thank you for having me again.
I love having you.
Thank
Super
you.
fun.
I love being here with the Beautiful Day family.
We love having you.
Thanks.
So, Wells Fargo, well, congratulations on your success with Wells Fargo.
Thank you so much.
How would you say Wells Fargo has supported your growth?
Wells Fargo has been a true blessing to me and my family. I'm currently a branch manager to assistant vice president title at the Mount Pocono branch. They've been just so supportive, not just in the actual banking industry, but also out in the community. Wells Fargo has just been great with supporting my development and my growth. There's been so many team member networks that I've been a part of, such as the Hispanic network, the Women's Network. All these networks were just amazing networks to be a part of, and just to show how much Wells Fargo has supported me out in the community.
Because of all the important work that you're doing with the Latin community, would you be able to share with our audience about the Hispanic Wealth Project?
So the Hispanic Wealth Project, back in 2015, Wells Fargo announced the pledge of $125 million for mortgages surrounding the Hispanic community, plus $10 million in mortgages for the Hispanic community around education and counseling. So the education and counseling piece pretty much consists of anything to do with educating the Hispanic community on how to get a mortgage, how to maintain, if not increase, your FICO score, how to make your payments on time, how to manage your payments, how to use a budgeting tool, all that good stuff. We're proud to announce that in the first 3 years, we already had 128,412 Hispanic families with $31.8 billion in funding and $5.1 million in invested home buyer education.
2018 was a great year for sustainable housing. How has Wells Fargo impacted those in low to moderate income housing?
In 2018, for the first 10 straight years, Wells Fargo was #1 in bank financer for home loans with the Hispanic community, the African American community, the Native American community, and the overall community in general, according to the Home Mortgage Disclosure Act. So Wells Fargo is #1 in both the low and the moderate income housing, as far as borrowing for the mortgage industry, and also for the neighborhoods.
Wells Fargo has a special relationship with Neighborhood Lift. Would you share with our viewers a little bit about this relationship?
The Neighborhood Lift program is an awesome program that in 2018, Wells Fargo decided to do a collaboration with. We expanded 9 additional communities with $75 million in philanthropy. We boost the home ownership and we strengthen the neighborhoods. 3,900 homeowners were created by bringing a total of over 20,000 homeowners since the Neighborhood Lift. So great program, great collaboration, lots of increase and lots of improvements there for our neighborhoods.
So many amazing projects Wells Fargo is supporting, including us, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's new for Wells Fargo in 2020, and how can people find out more about Wells Fargo?
2020 sounds like an exciting year. Not only has Wells Fargo done so many exciting things in the past, but we're going to continue to be there for our community, continue to be there for the consumers, for small business. We're going to continue to increase financial literacy in our schools. We definitely want to make sure that our customers know that we're going to be huge on digital banking, making appointments online, coming into the bank, ready and prepared to learn all the resources that we have to offer. Any customer can come into any local bank or visit us online at www.wellsfargo.com. And of course, we offer the material in both English and Spanish.
So thank you so much for all your support. You know, the Beautiful Day, Un Día Bonito show family loves you guys. Nothing would be happening without you. So thank you guys for all your support.
You're very welcome.
And I can't wait to have you on the show again because, you know, you're just like a standing guest on here. It's like permanent.
We're so happy to be here and support the show. You guys are truly amazing, and Wells Fargo wouldn't put their name on something that they didn't feel that was impacting both the Hispanic community and the overall community. So we're very, very happy to have you guys.
Thank you for having
faith
in the show and myself. So thank you again.
Thanks.
And I can't wait to have you back.
Yay.
Stay tuned for more Beautiful Day, Un Día Bonito. Welcome to Beautiful Day, Un Día Bonito show, presented by Wells Fargo. I'm your host, Giselle Figueroa, and I am here with Ida Garcia-Cole, who is an advocate and ambassador for the organization of March of Dimes. Thank you for being here.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's an honor to have you here. So can you tell us a little bit about your background?
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I have parents who migrated from the Dominican Republic. They both were born and raised there, and they came to the United States in the 60s, and they met in the early 70s, got married, and I came along. I'm one of three. We grew up in a really tight-knit Latino community in Brooklyn. I went to school from kindergarten to 5th grade ESL, so Spanish was my first language.
Can you share with us a little bit about your favorite Latin traditions growing up?
Oh, wow. I have a lot, but the one that I can really think about is Christmas. We get together.
Buena.
Yes, Noche Buena. We get together with the family, and our traditional dish is sancocho, which is a Spanish soup with a lot of meats, vegetables, and we have white rice, avocado, and that is a traditional dish that we share with my family.
So can you bring us back to 2002 and share with us the exciting time that you were going through with your family?
I got married in 1999, my husband Richard Cole, and in 2001 we found out that we were expecting our first child, so we were super excited, and he was due June of 2002. So we were preparing, and we were also moving to the Poconos. So our house was being built. It was a really exciting moment in our lives. Then everything just changed for us.
What happened shortly after the delivery of your son?
My son came early when I was 26 weeks. March 12th, it was a Tuesday morning. I'll never forget. I was on my way to work. I stopped at the post office, and while I was waiting in line, my water broke. I got into a cab, called my husband, and I said something's wrong. My water broke. I'm coming from downtown Manhattan to a local hospital. My husband is coming from the Bronx. He beat me to the hospital. When we got there, they said they confirmed my water broke, so I had to stay in the hospital. So I thought that I was going to be there for 3 months or until we can have the baby be healthy enough so that I can deliver. But that Saturday evening, his heart rate started escalating. So he was born at 10:33, March 16th. And our lives just changed completely. We went from being excited to scared, not knowing what was going to happen. And then Monday morning, around 9 o'clock, I got the call in the hospital room that they didn't think he was going to make it. I thank my mother so much because she was with me throughout the whole thing, and she said, we need to get him baptized before he passes. So the nurses were amazing. The doctors were great. They found a chaplain that could come in. They baptized him, and not too long after that, he passed away. And I just knew that I had an angel. I had an angel in heaven. I thank God for my family, my community. They really rallied around me, but it took me a long time to not look at a someone else who was pregnant and not think about what would have been for me. It was our firstborn, and now I didn't know if I could have children again. I didn't want to go through that. I had to go into prayer mode. I really had to reevaluate my life, and I didn't want to forget him. And I didn't want anyone else to forget about him because he existed. 2004, my daughter was born, and I always say she saved my life. And then my second daughter was born in 2006. So having them two gave me purpose, gave me a reason to live. And then I was more focused than ever to let them know that they had an older brother. My daughters never met him, but they talk about him as if they know who he is. And that was my mission as being his mother.
Sure.
To remember him and keep his memory alive.
How did you find out about March of Dimes, and how did hashtag Team Cole come to be?
While my baby was in the NICU section, I was not able to visit him because I had an infection in my blood, so I couldn't be around the other NICU babies. But my family was always there with him. They referenced the NICU family. They talked about the March of Dimes and how the March of Dimes supported them with research, with funds, and I had to be a part of that.
Sure.
So in doing my research with the March of Dimes and how they support premature babies, how they support pregnant women, in order to participate in their annual walks, I created Team Cole. And I became the captain, and I searched around my community with family and friends, and we created a team, and there were t-shirts that I also made with Team Cole on them. We just walk every year, and we fundraise for the walk to raise money for the March of Dimes.
You're such an incredible ambassador. You've been fundraising for this organization for over 15 years. What drives you to do this important work with March of Dimes?
My son. To remember him. To keep his name and memory alive. Being a part of the March of Dimes gives me hope that I'm doing something right on his behalf, in his name. Knowing that there are other mothers out there that have lost a child. I need to be their ally. I need to be their voice. I need to advocate on their behalf to let them know that it's not just them. We are in this together.
So we also have Rose Anima, Development Manager and Event Coordinator for the Lehigh Valley area, Northeast PA, Market for the March of Dimes. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Would you share the mission of March of Dimes and the milestones in your organization that you've achieved?
So the mission of the March of Dimes is we lead the fight for the health of all moms and babies. Back in 1938, we were actually developed by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He had developed polio, and he wanted to come up with something for the eradication of it. So in that, he developed the National Foundation March of Dimes. Once we eradicated the polio vaccine, we moved on to more life-threatening things for moms and babies. We came up with like folic acid, grains in different food, prenatal vitamins, the surfactant therapy, and now we help with online tools for doctors, for mothers that are pregnant. We give them the tools that they need from the beginning of their pregnancy all straight through the end. And then if they do happen to go into a premature labor or anything like that and they need support, we have different online tools. We have in several NICUs, we have family support specialists that work for the March of Dimes and with the hospitals. We are one of the least organizations out there that have not lost the amount of money that we actually give for research. And we are still several years into 76 cents on every single dollar that is fundraised. We use it for research. We now have 5 research centers in the United States and 1 in Europe. And right now, what we're also developing is an actual pacemaker for the uterus, which will eventually help stop preterm labor. We are doing great strides to help all moms and babies.
Right.
So one day, every baby's going to be born healthy.
Victoria, you must be so impressed with Ida's work and commitment throughout the years. Would you share with us some of her accomplishments this year?
How could we not be impressed? Her family's amazing, and they've clearly done a lot for the March of Dimes, and we appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys too.
Their family's been mission connected for more than 16 years, and obviously they do everything from raising money to helping us. This year past year they were the mission family for the chef's event and for the real estate event. So we thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. The one thing I can say is March of Dimes is an organization, but they are personable. They are approachable.
course, yeah.
They're only a phone call away. It's not just a business.
family.
It's family. Yes. Yes.
would you share with us how people can learn more about the organization and upcoming events?
My son, little Richie, was born in March, so we try to focus a lot on the month of March to have fundraisers. Last year, we had a fundraiser at the Renegade Winery, and we raised over $3,000 during that event. So that is the goal for this year. We also have a web page link with marchforbabies.org/Ada Cole. And people, my friends, community, they share the link and everyone can make a donation.
I would like to thank all three of you for being on the show today, but most importantly you. To hear your story, that's super painful, and I can't imagine what you went through. You're a super strong woman, so it's an honor to have you here to share your story. And the Beautiful Day families, Team Cole, 100%.
It's an honor for us to be here by you helping us to spread the word, to share
Absolutely.
about the March of Dimes. And it helps the cause. But not only that, you are a shining light on our Latino community because you're shining a light on me as a Latina and what I do. But then by shining a light on me, we're shining a light on the March of Dimes and
Absolutely.
and what they do. So
Thank you.
thank you.
You're an amazing mom, and he's here with us, right?
Yes, he is.
All of you watching, I encourage you to just go support and do everything that you can for these little babies and support March of Dimes. Stay tuned for more Beautiful Day Un Dia Bonito show. Welcome to Beautiful Day Un Dia Bonito. I'm your host, Giselle Figueroa, and I'm here with Dr. Javier Burial, who practices bariatric surgery. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And I am here with Dr. Lily Beth Burial, who practices bariatric medicine. Thanks for being here. So can you guys tell our viewers a little bit about your background and how you two met?
I grew up in Louisiana. Lily Beth grew up in Puerto Rico, and we actually met on for our two medical schools. Had a rotation in Prague and the Czech Republic. We ended up meeting each other at that time and kept in touch. And then I ended up transferring into her school, her medical school, and then we went through to residency in this area and kept on through.
Nice. It's cute. Super cute. Congratulations on your little boy. He's turning 3 this month, correct?
Yes, his name is Paxton.
Oh,
And,
that's such a cute name.
Thank you, he picked it.
So can you share with our viewers a little bit about your Latin traditions?
Myself, I'm Puerto Rican, like Javi mentioned. Javi also has some Puerto Rican in him. Actually, Burial comes from Puerto Rico, from Carolina, the Gigante of Carolina. His dad is from Puerto Rico, but he grew up in the South, in Louisiana. So as part of our heritage, we both want to make sure that at least Paxton is able to have the language. I think that's very important for both of us, that he can learn Spanish. So our family is not here locally, but we have our nanny, who is Hispanic herself. We are looking into having him also join school eventually when he's older, and also have him being like in Spanish immersion program. I think now that he's getting older, has been Christmas a really big deal this year, celebrating Noche Buena with
Nochebuena, yes.
typical music from back home, and also celebrating Three Kings, which is something that we,
Tres Noches.
yes.
I remember growing up, it was just such a fun memory.
Yes.
Such a fun memory. Javier, you're a bariatric surgeon for Weight Management Center of St. Luke's University Health Network. Congratulations on your practice. And I have to say, I had the surgery done, and it's been successful, and I encourage anyone who wants to get it done to do it, because it makes you feel amazing.
Yes,
makes you
yes.
feel confident.
Congratulations,
and
yes.
Makes you feel good. So you were fellowship trained at the Cleveland Clinic. Would you say this enhanced your training?
The Cleveland Clinic is probably the premier fellowship in the country. It's one of the biggest hospitals in the country, so and in the world. And so we were able to see very, very complex cases. Got a lot of good training there, and was able to be mentored by some of the best in our field. So it definitely has allowed me to improve my training and to bring me to a great level, and certainly opened up doors.
Lilybeth, you also practice at the Weight Management Center for St. Luke's along with Javier as a bariatrician or weight loss specialist. So the Weight Management Center is able to provide both surgical and non-surgical solutions to managing weight loss. Is that correct?
Correct, yes. In our practice, we think that both areas are very important. We know that obesity is a chronic condition. The American Medical Association marked obesity as a chronic disease in 2013, and since then we definitely have learned about obesity with the pathophysiology, learn better treatments. We do the combination of the treatment really well, so medical also is involved before surgery, preparing patients for what surgery will entail, and also we're very involved in the aftercare after surgery. One of the important parts also of the medical part is the involvement on many other medical conditions that are improved after surgery. So we take care of those conditions as well, because many patients that go through surgery, they are taken off of medicines. They can have even episodes of low blood pressure if we're not taking care of those medicines as the weight loss is happening quickly after surgery. Plus, we also take care of patients that maybe don't qualify for surgery or are not interested in the surgical route but still want to lose some weight in a medical way.
The ones that are not interested in the surgical route, what is the process with?
So depending on what the patient is looking for, we can provide full support, including dietitians, social workers, behavioral modifications. We have aggressive programs that can include meal replacements, and we also use medicines, because now we have about 5 FDA-approved medicines for weight loss. Each intervention helps a little bit more, and we see about 10 to 20% of weight loss with some of these interventions.
What would you say is the most rewarding experience or part of your practice?
I think one of the most rewarding is the part of when a patient is having the weight loss and to be able to tell them you don't have diabetes anymore, helping them lose weight, and at the same time as you're treating obesity, you're treating the other medical conditions. So it's very rewarding to not just say, yes, the scale is going down, but that's just a number. Also the fact that they're becoming healthy, that they don't have to take 4 pills for blood pressure or 3 for diabetes or insulin. So that's definitely very rewarding when we're seeing the progress, not just the scale moving.
So Javier, what are some of the latest surgical trends currently being practiced in bariatric surgery?
So bariatric surgery is it's a young field. It's a very dynamic field, and so as we progress, we're starting to learn more and more in this discipline. And one of the newer things that we've seen are endoluminal procedures. So things such as when we pass a scope into the stomach and we perform procedures inside the stomach to make it smaller. Some of these can be helpful with weight, but we're still gaining some data on that, even though it is very early. It has shown some good promise. We also have what we call endoluminal balloons. So these are balloons that we can put in the stomach and actually take up space so the patient feels fuller earlier. Those are temporizing things, though. The balloons themselves are approved for 6 to 12 months and have shown some good weight loss, but it also goes towards patients that don't qualify for surgery or those patients that aren't interested in surgery at a lower BMI or a lower weight. Personally, in our center, we did recently start doing robotic surgery, so robotic bariatric surgery.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it is, and it's a good technique to have. It is very helpful for patients with high BMIs or much higher weights, as well as some patients that are getting a second procedure or a revisionary procedure. That means they've already had bariatric surgery, now they're having a second surgery to follow up to possibly fix an issue.
So how can our viewers learn more about your practice?
So they can go on to the St. Luke's website at sluhn.org, and they can search for Weight Management Center. At that point, there will be a phone number on there, and they may also be directed to our personal website that can assist them in getting information to attend either the medical weight management arm or the surgical weight management division.
Well, I would like to thank both of you
Thank
for
you.
joining me on this show, and I would like to thank you for your support on the show. St. Luke's has been amazing, and hopefully we'll have you guys back soon.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations on your little guy.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Beautiful Day, Un Día Bonito.